Welcome to Ultimate DIY. Today we are going to do a real quick review on the new smart lock system, and that is made by Off TV. And then I'm going to show you how we install it. So it's kind of a review, installation video, all wrapped in one, and even an unboxing. So when it comes to you, it's going to come in just a regular box like this. You're going to take it, open it up. It's got the simple little pull tabs just like that. So this is just a little foam piece to protect the front. There's not a lot of pieces in here. These are going to be your handles right here. There's one of them. And this handle, the smart lock side of it, is going to have a fingerprint, and it's going to have a code that actually lights up. You can't see it till it's lit up. And they have this here to kind of show you this is where you're going to get the batteries. They're going to pop through this little area. So we're going to go ahead and we'll set that aside, and then let's see what else we got. This is going to be the mechanism that goes into the door itself and your striker with the hardware. And then you get down in here a little further. This is the piece that actually goes between the two. Now, this particular set will work, I believe it's between 1 and 1/8 inch door to all the way to a 2 and 1/8 inch door. And it will come with a couple of keys. So you have a safety key system on it, and you have the little opener right here to help open up the sides if you need it. All right. So now let me explain to you why I think this is such an awesome thing. This will use your thumbprint or a fingerprint. It doesn't even have to be thumb. It can just even be a finger. It'll store up to 100 fingerprints on it. Everybody in your house can have access to the room. So not only can you put 100 individual fingerprints in here and 100 individual codes in here for the codes, you can also do temporary ones. So if you have a maintenance man, a handyman, somebody like myself that needs to get in, you can issue them a temporary code, and you can do that from your smartphone. So that's some of the cool things about this. It also, one of the things that always concerned me is when you have something like this, what happens when the batteries go out? The batteries last a very long time. I believe they rate them at over a year. But what happens when the battery goes out and you can't get in your room? Well, this actually has a port right in the front where you can use a USB charger, and you just charge it. You put it in here, and it'll send a charge along and enough in here so that you can enter a code or a fingerprint and get in the door. And then you can actually replace the batteries. So it has an emergency power source. All right, so it's very simple, and your key will go on the other side here, right in this area. So you can enter it with a key as well. It does require 4 AAA batteries that do not come with it. You're going to have to get those yourself. And another thing I do like about this is this system will work with either a left-hand door or a right-hand door. You don't have to worry about what type of door you're putting on it as far as your pull. And another thing it has that I do like, if you like Alexa or you like Google, it works with those as well, to where you can say, Alexa, open my door, and it will open the door for you. So the app itself does a lot of really cool things. You're definitely going to want to download that app. One of the things it does is this thing makes noise when it's actually opening and closing and unlocking. You can go into the app and you can turn that volume down a little bit so that it's not making a lot of noise. You can also check in that app to see how much battery life you have left. And there's multiple other things, like giving those temporary codes to the handyman, like I told you a while ago. So let's go ahead at this point, and we're going to go ahead and try to install this and see how hard it is to install. The first thing I would always do is install the striker. This is something that you do on any door. You're generally always going to install that first. So we're going to start with that. And one of the tricks to this is if you look at the door striker, you're going to see this angle here. That means that the way the door is pulling shut, you want this angle to be able to strike, and then it's going to lock. And you have a locking pin right here so that people can't just stick something in there and get past that. That locking pin is going to keep that from actually moving. So in other words, if I'm pulling the door this way, I'm never going to install it like this, because now they have access to the locking pin, and it's not going to shut very well because it's squared off. It's going to slam every time I try to shut the door. So turn it the correct way, like this. Get your screws. This is going to go on your casing. So we should have 4 screws, and we do right here. And all you're going to do is take this, slide it into the opening right here, and this piece will be angled out like I was just saying, and you're going to put your screws in to lock this in. Just like that, it will lock it into place. And now we can get the other pieces in. Now this has a protective little piece right here that comes off. Keeps that from being marred up and scratched in installation. You can pull that off now. I don't know if you can see this from here, but you're going to have to take what I would do is take these out. You're going to have to take these screws and put them through the other part of the handle. It was longer. Didn't realize it was going to be quite that long. So I'm going to do that. There you go. All right, so we have them out, so they go this way. So these pins are going to have to go on this one. So the outer one with your line is where you're going to want to put these, and they're going to screw in just like this. All right. These are basically your standoffs. So what's going to happen, we're going to put this one through the back, line it up with those hose. This one is going to go through and slide right into them like this, right there. And on this back side, you're going to have these screws that are going to hold it into place. So I just wanted to show you that out here so that you can see what's happening. So I'm going to see if I can line this up. All right, so you got to actually, it looks like I'm going to have to do this one first. So that wire is going to have to go through just like that. I tell you what, come on to this side. So it's going to go like that, but we know we have a bar that has to go on there. So that bar's got to go in. So I have mounted the little hold-offs in the handle that has your combination and your thumbprint. You're going to have a bar like this. You're going to need to take this little wire and go through the bar. It's going to come through like that, and you're going to line it up just like that. This is what I was talking about on the striker plate. Make sure that you're correct here. As the door shuts, this angled part needs to hit the door and hit the striker, not the opposite. Now, obviously, do not mount your handle like this. I see guys do it all the time and get it all put together, and they're like, it doesn't shut. Make sure it's facing the correct direction. Now, you'll put that little wire through this side right here, and then you have to turn this bar until it lines up correctly, because there is a right and a wrong way to get it in there. There it is. And my little hold off pins, the anchors, will go through here. So now this is sitting there ready to be able to put the other one on with the set screws right here. So here are all of my batteries. This is the screwdriver that they give you. And if you look at the other side, it's got a little screw on the end. This is why you have to have the charger connection on the outside, because if the battery quits working, you run out and the door is locked and you do not have a key, you will not be able to get the door open. But if you have the charger, you can, because your batteries are going to be on the inside of the door. All right, so they do that on purpose so somebody can't just pop that open and get the batteries out or whatever, or short it out to get in. Kind of a smart way to do it. But let's see if we can get this little screw. That should be loose. There it is. It's a tiny screw. And I did notice, guys, there is another little bitty screw like this in the package. So I'm assuming they give that to you in case you lose it. If I were you, I would put that up somewhere in a jewelry box or something so you have it. So here is your connections right here. So it's very obvious right off the bat that your batteries are going to go in here. The wire is going to go through. And that wire looks like it is going to be connecting in this little connection right here. So we'll pop that in, put the batteries. So in the meantime, what we need to do is see if we should have plenty of room to run this through and tie it together. So there we go. And now the key is lining up. And I'm not mentioning it is. This is supposed to be adjustable. Let me see if it's turned on. That goes through. There it is, right there. Sorry guys, I had to play with it just a little to get it to line up. So now it's lined up. You're going to have these screw holes. You got one on each side. I would get this one first, get it snug, and then you can kind of turn it to get to the other one. So we're going to take the first one, see if we can line it up and hit that side. This is always the hardest part of putting in a doorknob, is making sure that these line up. But I think this one is going to be a little bit easier. I probably shouldn't say that till we get done. Now this one, I wouldn't sink it all the way, but I'd get it pretty close because you're going to probably have to move this handle. So we're going to try to move the handle down a little, just like that. So now I have access to the place to put the screw in. So one of the things I think I have figured out here, guys, that they did, which is pretty ingenious, is they put a hole in the center of this. So if you line that hole up, it actually goes right to the screw. Now, whoever came up with this and engineered it was pretty smart. There we go. Nice and tight. Now I'll tighten this one. There you go. So now that's working. Now it's not going to work on this side yet to unlock it because it has a locking mechanism. So don't shut your door until you get this thing all hooked up. Now you can from this side though, so we can make sure it lines up. Does great. There you go. All right, so now we have the little system here. What I would do first is probably hook this up before I put the batteries in. So if you short something, you're not going to burn it up. There's probably a little chip inside of here. So the key is going to be looking at this and trying to make sure you're correct. All right, guys, so let me explain something to you. This is where some of you are going to get stuck. If you're looking at this, there's 3 little pins, and if you're trying to look without having some kind of magnifier, even if you have eagle eyes, you're going to have a hard time because it's very small. The little pins are closer to the back of this unit. If you look at your plug, your pinholes are closer to the back here at the back of the deal. So if you try to cram this in upside down, you're going to break these pins off and you're going to have a problem. You're going to have to get a new back. So make sure your pins like this are facing the back of the unit. All right, so now we're going to take it and we should be able to just slide this in. I say that easily, but it's probably not that easy. Get it kind of lined up. There you go. I feel it lining, and then it's just a matter of pushing it into the spot. And there it is. And you make sure it's got full connection. You shouldn't see any shiny part in between that little clip right here. Okay, so the little plug-in clip should be nice and tight. Now this feels like a reset right here. I can feel it moving every time I push it. It's a button. So imagine it's probably going to be on the inside of the handle. So you can let that hang there for a second. Now we are going to take and we're going to put the batteries in. And usually, you know, of course, your spring side is always negative. So you're going to put that in, slide it back, and just like that right there. That one's in place. And hopefully, guys, these batteries are good. I was about out of batteries, but they were in the bottom of the box. Hopefully, they didn't get thrown back in. It has a spring here where it loads in, and it has a clip here. So we are going to take it from this side, put the clip in, just like that. So we're going to take the little bitty Phillips that they have again. You're going to hold that in, and you're going to put the screw back. Get it started, just like that. And I'm going to go this way so maybe you can see with a little more light. Just do like that. I can lean. And there we go. All right, so now everything is installed other than my striker plate, which is going to go right here. And let me show you that. I will put that on at a later date because I'm going to have to tap this out and drill it. This is a brand new door. I just installed the casing. So I may have to make some adjustments, but your striker plate itself, it's going to come with the coating on it. Like here, you will peel this coating off and it is going to go here. This also kind of shows you, see how this is angled? That's why your door strike itself is angled. They hit together here and work their way in. So I'm going to be playing with that in a minute. Make sure that I get that just right. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and try it. We will see if it works. If not, I will have to adjust it. And I just don't want to bore you guys to death. So let's see if it will line up. There's a little tab here, and you take that tab and I'm going to line it as far this way as I can. Now let's see. The last one I had was right there. I can see the hole. So we're going to try it in the same spot. See if that actually works. Because if not, I'll have to slide it over a little. And instead of putting two in at this point, let's just put one. And let's see what happens. So it is working now, guys. The only thing at this point I'm going to have to do, I pull this protective coating off right here. You're going to set your codes. You're going to set your thumbprints. But until you do that, anyone can use their finger and open this because there's not a code set. So let me show you how that actually works. So if I pull this shut right now, I cannot, it will not open. See, it'll turn, but it will not open. But any thumbprint or fingerprint at this point will work because nothing is set. And once it is actually set, you're going to use your finger here, or you can enter a code, or the actual keys that they give you are going to be entered right back here. So it would be like this. It wouldn't open. I'm going to take and put my key in from the back side here. And there's your numbers, by the way. You can see them now lit up. So you would either enter a code, you would either enter the fingerprint, or you can unlock it here and be able to open the door as well. But until everything is set, it's going to keep you locked out other than just the fingerprint. Okay? All right, guys, so some other things I'd like to point out. When you go to set this door up, I've already got it installed. You go and you will download the app. There's going to be an administrator. The administrator will add anyone else that's going to have access to the room, and a code will be sent to them with their cell phone. You will have to follow the link on that, and then it's also going to give you a little code at the top that you're going to have to enter, and you will enter that as basically a new account, new person, and you'll enter that a code, and there's instructions. So what you'll do, follow the instructions that they send you when they send you the text. Don't try to follow instructions in the little booklet. It's not going to help you. So do that. That'll save you a little bit of time. You will be able to set multiple fingers. So we set both thumbs and index fingers so that you can reach down and touch it. This thing works extremely quick. It actually responds within a single second. So when I reach down, this is how it'll unlock. That fast, and now it is open. So the system works great. You can also set a code. You're going to have to set 8 characters or eight spots. So we did that. We have a code as well, so we can enter it on the side here. You just touch it, it lights up, and you can enter that. So that's a really cool deal. It also has another option where you can use a code and you can scan the code on the front if you want to do that as well. We haven't messed with that yet. We did the first 2. In the app, by the way, you can also adjust the sounds. Like I said earlier, you can give other people access. I will tell you, it's going to send a notice to you if you check that off in the beginning when you're setting everything up that you want to be notified. Anytime somebody enters that door, it's going to let you know. And if they enter it and something's weird, like they unlock it, the door's open or something, it's going to have a little siren thing on your phone. But you can adjust all of that. So spend a little time in the app. So guys, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple install, really quick, very cool unit. You know, I'm probably going to change out every lock in my house and put this same system in there. I really love it. They even have it for the exterior doors. It's a great system. Do yourself a favor, pick yourself up one of these today, and we'll see you guys on the next review.